If you're over 60 and still drinking milk that promises strength, comfort, or nostalgia, then I need to warn you, because one of those milks might be quietly killing your erections. Yes, you heard me right. What you pour into your glass every morning could be choking off blood flow, shrinking your testosterone, and weakening the very part of your manhood you fought to preserve. And yet, nobody talks about it. I'm Dr. Mohit Khera. I've spent over 30 years helping older men fight fatigue, memory loss, joint pain, and yes, declining bedroom performance. And I can tell you this, the decline you feel isn't always age. Sometimes it's something as ordinary as milk that's quietly turning your strength into struggle. The truth is, many seniors believe they're making healthy choices when they grab popular milks from the store, especially if the label says plant-based, fortified, or low-fat. But here's what you're not being told. Some of those milks are actually draining your energy, hurting your heart, and even increasing your risk of fractures, blood sugar crashes, and cognitive decline. That's why in this video, I'll reveal the 4 milks you should never drink after 60, and more importantly, the 4 powerful alternatives you should be using instead. These aren't just swaps. They're strategic upgrades that can protect your bones, improve your memory, reduce inflammation, and support strong, lasting erections naturally. And stay with me, because the first milk we'll expose might be sitting in your fridge right now. Let's get started. Before we dive in, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a health tip designed specifically for men over 60. And if this topic matters to you, or if you've ever wondered whether the milk you're drinking is helping or hurting your health, just type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can make these videos more helpful for you. So let's begin with the truth most men never hear from their doctor. The 4 milks you should never drink after 60. These are the everyday choices that seem harmless, even healthy, but inside your body, they're doing silent damage, weakening your heart, disrupting your hormones, and quietly robbing you of your strength, your energy, and your erections. Let's expose them one by one. 1. Whole milk, a silent heartbreaker in your fridge. There's a reason this one hurts to talk about. Whole milk isn't just a beverage for many of us. It's a memory. I remember mornings with my father. He'd pour a tall glass of whole milk next to his eggs, strong and steady, the way men were supposed to be. Back then, we believed whole milk meant strength, bones, and manhood. And maybe for a time, it did. But the truth we didn't know, what science now clearly shows, is that after age 60, whole milk becomes something very different. Something dangerous. You see, as we get older, the body begins to change in quiet, subtle ways. Arteries stiffen. Metabolism slows. Testosterone dips. And the foods we once handled with ease now hit us harder than we realize. Whole milk is one of those foods. It's loaded with saturated fat over 4.5 grams in a single cup. That may not sound like much, but to an aging heart, it's more than enough to quietly clog arteries, raise bad cholesterol, and strain your cardiovascular system. And let me be clear, when your arteries are clogged, it's not just your heart that suffers. Blood flow is everything. It fuels your brain, your muscles, and yes, your erections. When blood can't flow freely, it can't reach where it's needed most. That means slower, weaker, and shorter lasting performance, not just in the bedroom, but in everyday life. But there's more to this story. Whole milk isn't just hurting your circulation, it's also a weight trap. As your muscle mass naturally declines after 60, every extra calorie begins to count against you. Whole milk packs nearly 150 calories per glass. And if you're still having a few glasses a day out of habit, those calories add up on your waistline, your joints, and even your insulin levels. For seniors already managing blood sugar, whole milk can worsen insulin resistance and contribute to type 2 diabetes over time. And here's something many men don't realize. That daily glass of milk could be behind your digestive discomfort. After 60, a large percentage of adults develop some degree of lactose intolerance, even if they never had issues before. Gas, bloating, fatigue, or sluggish feeling after breakfast. It may not be your age, it may be the lactose. But because it's so familiar, so trusted, we rarely question it. I've had patients look me in the eye and say, "Doc, I don't eat junk. I just have my cereal and milk every morning, like I always did." And I gently have to tell them, that habit might be stealing your strength, your energy, and your blood flow without you even realizing it. So what do? You start by asking the hard question. Is this really serving the man I am today? Or is it just a leftover habit from the man I used to be? Because after 60, strength doesn't come from nostalgia. It comes from knowledge. And now you know. But this next milk, it doesn't even try to pretend it's healthy. It's sweet, it's thick, and it's loaded with memories. But also with something far more dangerous. If you're using it in your coffee or desserts, you'll want to hear this. Let's talk about the sugar trap hiding in plain sight. Asterisk. 2. Sweetened condensed milk. The sugar bomb that steals your brain in bedroom. There's something about sweetened condensed milk that touches the heart before it touches the body. Maybe. It reminds you of holidays with the grandkids, family recipes from your mother, or that extra spoonful in your morning coffee on a quiet Sunday. I get it. I've seen it in my own family that nostalgic sweetness brings comfort. It feels harmless. But here's what I need to tell you. What most men over 60 never hear. The thing that feels so comforting to your memories might actually be harming your body in serious ways. Sweetened condensed milk is a sugar bomb dressed in a cozy disguise. Just 1 tablespoon contains about 10 grams of added sugar, but no one stops at 1 tablespoon. It's thick, rich, and addictive. That slow pour might seem innocent, but it slams your system like a freight train, spiking your blood sugar, exhausting your pancreas, and pushing you closer to insulin resistance. For men already walking the line with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, that gentle drizzle can cause long-term damage you won't even notice until it's too late. And here's something most men don't know. Sugar doesn't just affect your gut or waistline. It affects your brain. Studies now show that regular consumption of concentrated sugars, like the kind found in sweetened condensed milk, can speed up cognitive decline. Researchers are even calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes now because of how tightly brain function is tied to blood sugar control. If you've ever felt foggy, lost your train of thought, or blanked mid-sentence, don't just blame age. The culprit might be right there in your cup. But that's not where the damage stops. Sugar, especially in this thick, concentrated form, is a major driver of inflammation. And inflammation? It's one of the biggest enemies of male performance. It disrupts hormones, damages blood vessels, and weakens circulation. Yes, it even contributes directly to erectile dysfunction. If your energy, stamina, or confidence have taken a hit lately, it might not be aging. It might be the sugar you didn't think twice about. And let's talk digestion. That heavy, syrupy texture slows everything down in your gut. It leaves you bloated, sluggish, and tired. But it doesn't just rob your physical energy, it drains you emotionally. I've watched men quietly shrink into themselves, feel dull, foggy, disconnected, not because of age, but because the foods they loved were slowly draining the life from them. I'm not here to steal your joy. I'm here to help you reclaim your strength. Sweetened condensed milk might be wrapped in warm memories, but it has no place in a body that wants to stay sharp, strong, and sexually alive after 60. You deserve better fuel. And speaking of deceptive comfort, the next milk we're about to uncover wears a healthy label. It says plant-based. It says gentle, but underneath the surface, it hides a toxic secret that could be silently weakening your bones and stressing out your kidneys. Let's reveal the truth about rice milk. 3. Rice milk, the bone-weakening, kidney-harming imposter. There was a time I genuinely believed rice milk was one of the gentlest, safest choices on the shelf. I had patients who switched to it proudly thinking they were making a smart, healthy upgrade. And honestly, I couldn't blame them. The label looks clean. It's plant-based. It sounds harmless. In fact, it even sounds comforting, something light, smooth, and easy on the gut. But what I've learned, and what you absolutely need to know, is that rice milk might be one of the most misleading choices a man over 60 can make. Here's the hard truth. Rice milk is made almost entirely of processed white rice and water. Sounds simple enough. What it really means is you're drinking something almost completely void of real nutrition. 1 cup, less than a gram of protein, no healthy fats, and barely any essential vitamins or minerals. For older men, that's a serious issue. After 60, your body naturally starts losing muscle mass. And if you're not fueling those muscles with enough protein every day, you're not just losing strength, you're losing balance, mobility, and confidence. But the problems go deeper than that. Here's something most people never hear. Rice by nature absorbs a toxic element from the soil called arsenic. And when it's concentrated into rice milk, that arsenic doesn't vanish. It builds up, slowly, silently. That buildup can strain your kidneys, stress your liver, and quietly damage your system over time. I've looked at the labs. I've seen patients who drank rice milk daily and watched their kidney function slip. No symptoms, no warning signs, just silent damage. And if you already have high blood pressure or blood sugar issues, that's a dangerous combination. Now, let's talk about blood sugar. Most labels won't tell you this, but rice milk has a very high glycemic index. That means it spikes your blood sugar fast, almost like soda. And for men over 60, many of whom are already pre-diabetic and don't even know it, these daily spikes mess with everything. Your metabolism goes haywire. You feel drained, irritable, maybe foggy in the head. And when that crash hits, you reach for more food, more carbs. And just like that, you're trapped in a cycle. That's not aging. That's blood sugar whiplash from drinking the wrong fuel. And we haven't even touched digestion. Rice milk contains 0 fiber. It doesn't support your gut. It can actually make bloating, gas, and sluggish digestion worse. Especially the sweetened versions, they're the worst offenders. What you're left with is a milk that gives you none of what your aging body needs and too much of what it can't handle. I always tell my patients, don't be fooled by soft colors and pretty branding. Health isn't in the packaging, it's in the biology. And rice milk? It's a hollow promise with real consequences. But if you thought this was sneaky, wait until you hear what's next. There's one last milk that's marketed like a superfood. It hides behind vanilla flavors, chocolate swirls, and health. Buzzwords. It's the most seductive of them all, and maybe the most damaging. Let's pull back the curtain on flavored plant-based milks. Asterisk 4. Flavored plant-based milks. The sweet sabotage in disguise. Over the years, I've watched the dairy aisle transform completely. What was once just cow's milk and cream is now flooded with almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk, and soy milk in every flavor imaginable. Vanilla, chocolate, hazelnut, you name it. These plant-based options are plastered with feel-good labels. Fortified, heart-healthy, low-fat. And for seniors trying to clean up their diets, they seem like a smart switch. But here's what I tell my patients. Don't trust a label that tastes like dessert. Flavored plant-based milks seem healthy, but many are quietly sabotaging your body from the inside out. The number one culprit? Sugar, Some of these milks contain 10 to 15 grams of added sugar in just 1 cup. That's the same as some sodas. And the sugar doesn't always appear as sugar. It hides behind names like cane, juice, agave, or fruit concentrate. But your body doesn't care what it's called. It reacts the same. That extra sugar, it doesn't just expand your belly. It spikes your blood sugar, strains your pancreas, and fuels inflammation. And inflammation, especially when it lingers, is a direct hit to your energy, your testosterone, and your ability to perform in the bedroom. I've seen this too many times, men feeling tired, foggy, or underperforming, never realizing that the healthy milk in their morning smoothie was a slow, steady attack on their confidence. But sugar is only part of the problem. Many of these flavored milks are thickened and stabilized with additives like gums, emulsifiers, and artificial flavors. These are used to mimic creaminess or extend shelf life. But inside your body, they can disrupt your gut microbiome, irritate digestion, and throw off hormonal balance. For men over 60 already dealing with reduced digestive strength and changing hormone levels, these additives can do real damage. Then there's the issue of synthetic vitamins. Yes, fortified sounds like a benefit. But here's the problem. Many of those vitamins are added in forms your aging body can't absorb well. You might think you're getting calcium or B12, but if your body can't use it, it's just marketing noise. It might look impressive on the label, but it's not doing the work where it counts. I once spoke with a patient who proudly said, "I switched to chocolate almond milk. It's plant-based, so it must be good, right?" He was doing his best to make a better choice. But he didn't know that every glass was pumping his body full of sugar, additives, and hormone-disrupting junk, while giving him barely any of the nutrition he thought he was getting. This is the danger of food that pretends to be healthy. It's sweet, it's smooth, it's comforting, and it's pulling you further away from the vitality, strength, and confidence you deserve. But here's the good news. Not all milk is the enemy. In fact, some milks can do the exact opposite. They protect your heart, support your joints, feed your brain, and even strengthen your erections naturally. And now, I want to show you exactly which ones they are. Let's talk about the 4 milks you should be drinking after 60 and why they might just change your life. Asterisk 1. Fermented soy milk. Strength, balance, and brain fuel in a glass. There's something incredibly powerful about choosing to change, not because you fear aging, but because you've decided to grow wiser. I've sat across from countless men who've said to me, "Doc, I don't just want to live longer. I want to feel stronger, think sharper, sleep deeper. And if I'm being real, I want to feel like a man again." That's where fermented soy milk enters the picture. Now I get it. You might be thinking, soy milk? Doesn't sound very manly. I used to think the same until I learned the difference between regular soy milk and what fermented soy milk can actually do for the aging male body. This isn't just a dairy substitute. This is real, functional, age-smart fuel for your muscles, your mind, your gut, and yes, your manhood. Let's talk protein. As we age, the body loses its ability to maintain muscle fast. Fermented soy milk provides complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to stay strong and stable. I've had patients in their late 60s and early 70s start drinking a glass daily, and within weeks, they reported feeling more stable on their feet, less tired, and more confident in their physical strength. But the benefits don't stop there. Fermented soy milk is also packed with isoflavones natural, plant-based compounds that help regulate hormones and protect brain function. These compounds have been shown to boost memory, slow down cognitive decline, and may even lower the risk of Alzheimer's. And when your brain is sharp, your world opens back up. You recall names. You finish thoughts. You feel alert, capable, and in control again. Now let's talk about digestion, because this is where fermentation becomes the secret weapon. Fermenting soy makes it easier to digest, increases nutrient absorption, and introduces natural probiotics, those good gut bacteria your system depends on. For older adults dealing with bloating, irregularity, or stomach discomfort, this gentle daily support can make a huge difference. A glass in the morning or warmed up before bed can calm your gut and support smoother digestion throughout the day. One of my patients told me, "Doc, I didn't think anything could fix my sleep. But ever since I switched to this, I've been sleeping straight through the night and waking up with more energy than I've had in years." That's the quiet power of fermented soy milk. No flashy branding, no sugary gimmicks, just targeted nutrition that actually delivers. If you want to move forward toward strength, clarity, and confidence, this is where to begin. And if fermented soy milk surprised you, wait until you see what's next. It's light, smooth, and often overlooked. But beneath that gentle flavor is a brain-sharpening, heart-loving powerhouse, especially when you choose the right kind. Let's take a closer look at unsweetened almond milk. 2. Unsweetened almond milk, brain-boosting, heart-protecting simplicity. It's easy to overlook something as light as almond milk. It doesn't have the weight of cow's milk or the richness of cream. It's quiet, subtle, almost too simple to seem powerful. But often, especially after 60, the simplest things carry the most lasting impact. And unsweetened almond milk is a perfect example. I remember a patient, mid-70s, a retired mechanic named Joe. He told me, "Doc, I don't need anything fancy. I just need something that works." Joe had recently made the switch from sweetened oat milk to plain, unsweetened almond milk. Within a few weeks, he noticed more steady energy, lower blood pressure readings, and most importantly, he said he felt lighter, physically and mentally. And that's not just coincidence. Unsweetened almond milk is a quiet powerhouse. First, it's completely free from cholesterol and extremely low in saturated fat, exactly what your heart needs after 60. Because let's be honest, the heart doesn't bounce back like it used to. It needs clean, simple fuel. Almond milk delivers just that. It's also rich in monounsaturated fats, the same heart-loving fats found in olive oil. These help reduce LDL cholesterol and support smoother circulation. And better circulation doesn't just mean a healthier heart, it means better performance, wherever it matters most. But here's what really sets almond milk apart, especially for men over 60. Vitamin E. This powerful antioxidant protects your brain cells from oxidative stress. In plain terms, it helps your brain stay sharp, clear, and focused. Research shows vitamin E may help slow cognitive decline and support long-term memory retention in older adults. So while almond milk might look unassuming, every glass is quietly fighting off the brain fog that too many men accept as just aging. Another huge win: no added sugar. That's critical. So many men over 60 are already battling blood sugar swings, insulin resistance, or full-blown diabetes. By choosing almond milk without sweeteners, you avoid those hidden sugar bombs that spike your blood sugar, drain your energy, cloud your mood, and quietly damage your blood vessels. And we can't skip over digestion. Unsweetened almond milk is incredibly gentle on the gut. For men who've had to deal with bloating, stomach discomfort, or mild lactose intolerance, it's a soothing swap that doesn't leave you feeling heavy or gassy. It fits perfectly in coffee, cereal, smoothies, or just cold in a glass. And with only 30 to 40 calories per cup, it's an easy way to manage weight without giving up satisfaction. Yes, it's simple, but it's powerful. And in a world full of overhyped health trends, sometimes getting back to the basics is the wisest decision a man can make. Now, if you're someone who struggles with falling asleep, or staying asleep, or if your bones feel weaker than they used to, you're going to want to hear this next one. It's warm, it's calming, and it's designed to support your rest, your digestion, and your skeletal strength. Asterisk 3. Calcium-Fortified Oat Milk Comfort for bones and calm for sleep. Sometimes what we're really seeking, especially with age, is comfort. Not the indulgent kind, but the kind that quietly supports us when our bodies need help the most. That's exactly what calcium-fortified oat milk offers. It may not scream from the shelf, but it quietly delivers what older bodies crave: strength, stability, and peace. I remember a conversation with a patient named Robert, a soft-spoken man in his late 60s. He told me his nights were restless. His knees ached when he stood, and he often lay awake wondering if that dull pain was something worse. "I'm not afraid of getting older," he said, "but I am afraid of losing my independence." That's a fear many men won't say out loud, but I've heard it more times than I can count. And when we looked closely at Robert's diet, I saw what was missing: enough calcium and vitamin D to support his bones, and enough calming nutrition to support his sleep. That's when I recommended oat milk, more specifically calcium-fortified. Oat milk is part of his nighttime routine. This milk is rich in two of the most essential nutrients for men over 60, calcium and vitamin D. Bone loss after 60 isn't a maybe, it's a biological fact. And for many men, brittle bones don't show up until something breaks. A fractured hip or spine can take away far more than just mobility. It can shake your confidence and independence. But by adding 1 cup of fortified oat milk a day, you're giving your body the raw materials it needs to slow that bone loss and reduce your risk of dangerous fractures. But the benefits go beyond bone health. Oat milk contains a soluble fiber called beta-glucan, a powerful compound that helps bind excess cholesterol and flush it from your body. That's incredibly helpful for men watching their heart health or teetering on the edge of high cholesterol. It's not just comforting in taste, it's literally calming your cardiovascular system from within. And here's a benefit most men never expect. Warm oat milk before bed can actually improve sleep. Its creamy texture and gentle sweetness signal your nervous system it's time to unwind. It won't knock you out, but it helps you settle down. For men battling restlessness, overthinking, or light sleep, that gentle nudge is sometimes all it takes. Let's not forget digestion either. Oat milk is naturally lactose-free and low in common irritants, making it a great alternative for men who struggle with dairy discomfort. It supports smoother digestion, eases bloating, and helps you wake up less sluggish. Robert made the switch: a warm glass of oat milk every evening, about an hour before bed. A month later, he told me, "I'm sleeping deeper, and I don't feel as stiff in the morning." That's not a miracle. That's just your body finally getting what it's been missing. And now, we arrive at the final milk on this list, one most men have never even heard of. It doesn't just protect your heart, brain, and joints. It tackles inflammation, balances hormones, and may even help restore blood flow exactly where you need it most. Let's talk about flax milk, the quiet champion for men over 60. Asterisk 4. Flax milk, the omega-3 secret weapon for joints, brain, and erections. There's a quiet frustration I often see in men as they get older. It's not just about sore knees or low energy. It's the feeling of drifting away from the man they used to be. You might not say it out loud, but I hear it in your silence. Why don't I feel as sharp? Why am I always tired? Why can't I perform like I used to? These aren't little things. These matter. And sometimes the answer isn't more pills or some complicated new diet. Sometimes it's as simple as switching what you pour in your glass. That's where flax milk enters the story. It's not the most popular milk on the shelf, but for men over 60, it may be one of the most powerful. Flax milk is naturally loaded with omega-3s, a type of fatty acid that helps lower inflammation throughout the body. Chronic inflammation is a silent thief. It stiffens joints, dulls the brain, narrows your arteries, and throws your hormones out of balance. But with flax milk, you give your body a daily dose of anti-inflammatory support, not just to survive, but to actually heal. One of my patients, Jim, early 70s, came in struggling with persistent joint pain and brain fog. He didn't want pain meds, and he hated the way his energy tanked mid-morning. We added flax milk to his routine, just one glass a day in his cereal or smoothie. 3 weeks later, he returned and said, "Doc, I'm clearer. And my knees, they've actually calmed down." That kind of shift may be quiet, but it's powerful. And the question most men are secretly thinking, can it help down there? Yes, it can. Because when your arteries are more flexible and less inflamed, your blood flows better, not just to your heart and brain, but to everywhere you need it. Omega-3 South have also been linked to healthier testosterone levels and improved vascular response, two key players in stronger, longer-lasting erections. And there's more. Flax milk is often fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and B12 nutrients that boost energy, lift mood, and support nerve function. It's free from lactose and cholesterol, easy on digestion, and won't leave you bloated or sluggish. No nonsense, no side effects. Just clean, plant-based nutrition that works with your body, not against it. For men searching for a milk that actually gives something back, this is it. Whether you stir it into coffee, blend it in a shake, or sip it straight, flax milk supports your movement, your mind, and your manhood. And now that you've seen both sides, the milks to avoid and the ones that heal, let's tie it all together. Because the final message of this video may be the most important decision you make this year. Asterisk. As someone who's walked beside men in their 60s, 70s, even into their 80s for over 3 decades, I can tell you this with full confidence. The most powerful health transformations rarely begin with surgery or prescriptions. They start with small, quiet choices, like what you put on your plate, how you move your body, and yes, even what you pour into your glass each morning. These daily decisions, repeated consistently, shape the man you are and the life you get to live. Today, we uncovered a truth that's been hiding in plain sight. The wrong milk can quietly harm your body long before you feel the damage. It can affect your joints, your heart, your blood sugar, your brain, even your ability to show up in the bedroom with confidence. We exposed 4 common offenders: whole milk with artery-clogging fats, sweetened condensed milk, loaded with brain-draining sugars, rice milk, low in protein but high in arsenic, flavored plant milks, full of additives and hormone disruptors. These aren't minor concerns. They're silent threats stealing your strength without ever making a sound. But this wasn't just a warning. It was a roadmap. Because we also discovered 4 powerful milk upgrades. Fermented soy milk with complete protein and brain-protecting isoflavones. Unsweetened almond milk, clean and heart-smart, supporting circulation and cognition. Calcium-fortified oat milk to rebuild bone strength and improve sleep. And flax milk, an inflammation-fighting, omega-3 rich powerhouse that supports your joints, hormones, and erections. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just start with one simple switch. Replace the milk that's draining you with one that's restoring you. Do it for 1 week. See how you feel. Because real change doesn't come from guilt, it comes from clarity. From a decision to do better with the knowledge you now have. I've had men tell me, "Doc, it's just milk, how much difference could it really make?" And weeks later, they're standing taller, thinking, clear, and saying things like, I didn't even know how heavy I felt until I finally felt light again. That's the gift of this stage in life. You're not too old to change. You're wise enough now to know what matters. So here's what I'll leave you with. Every sip is a choice. When you choose wisely, when you honor the body that's carried you this far, you'll feel the difference in your bones, your brain, your energy, and your confidence. Because aging doesn't mean getting weaker. It means getting smarter. And it starts with what you decide to drink tomorrow morning. If this video helped you even a little, click like. It tells me the message mattered. Share it with a brother, a friend, or any man who needs this truth. And let me know in the comments type, I'm making the switch, if you're ready to take that first step. And if you believe in this kind of honest, life-changing health advice for men over 60, consider supporting the channel. Your donation helps us create more content, reach more people, and keep serving this community with heart and purpose. Thanks for being here, and thank you for choosing to live wiser, stronger, and better.